Well, good Tuesday evening, everyone, and welcome to Weather Worries with your Weather Authority. I'm Todd Warren here in the Forecast Center. Hello to everyone watching on the KTAL Now app, and of course, all of you watching on my Facebook page, Todd Warren Weather. If you have a question or a comment, as we always like to say, feel free to ask away. If you just want to say hello, that's great too. You can see today we did see lots of clouds across the Arklatex. As I'll show you here in a second, temperatures weren't nearly as warm as they were yesterday across the area. Now, coming up tonight, as I wait your questions and hellos, this is what's on board. The warm temperatures will be sticking around here for the rest of this week, as highs will stay in the 70s. Of course, we've been talking about the heavy rain potential, which is on the way for this weekend. I'll show you the latest model numbers on how much we could be looking at, as well as the timing of that rain. Futurecast now goes out to 6 p.m. Saturday, so we're going to kind of get a little bit of a sense on what it looks like for Saturday afternoon for the Gemini parade, and how long that rain, or when we could at least see the heaviest of the rain. And of course, being that we're getting warmer, severe weather becomes more of a concern. I'll let you know if we have any worries with that yet. And still, some of you asked last night, any more winter stuff? No cold in sight here, as I'll take you out a couple weeks as far as temperatures. So let's see who is tuning in tonight, as we are looking at, again, quiet conditions for the most part. Drew is first on board tonight. Hello there, Drew. Chris, hello. Happy Tuesday for you. It was a nice day, if you don't mind a few clouds. Drew, I'm doing well. Hopefully you're doing okay. Donnell, hello. Donnell, I didn't see your question that you asked last night about winter until just now before I came on. I have to load the previous video to get the comments set up so that you can see that on the stream. But nonetheless, hopefully you got the answer to that question. Rusty, hello. Betty, greetings to you. And Jean, feel free to ask away, Gene, when you're headed back, and have a safe trip to Gatlinburg. Again, it does look like if your plans haven't changed, that you should be fine on Friday. All right, let's move ahead here. Again, we'll start off with my level of concern. Again, the main concern is going to be Saturday. It still doesn't look like we will see much of a severe weather threat. The risk is looking very low at this point. It's not zero, but it is looking very low. The main concern will be the rain and the Gemini parade. If we didn't have the Gemini parade here, this probably would be a 2. That's how low the severe weather risk is. But since we do have that parade, of course, we could have a lot of people exposed to the elements. That's why I put it at 3. Let's take a look at Pinpoint Doppler here, and you can see the past hour that we are looking at, and you can see the rain over the northwestern sections of the Arklatex, that rainfall. This is where we've seen the very light rain at times during the day today, and that is more than likely where it is going to stay for the next couple of hours. Give you a national view and kind of consolidate all the radars around us, and you can see a little bit of light rain here to the southwest of Shreveport. If this holds together, we might see some of that. The majority of this rain is going to impact the northern sections of the area during the night tonight. We're not really looking at a whole lot as far as rainfall is concerned. Temperatures today, we did make it to 73. You might recall we hit low 80s yesterday. 73 for the high today in Shreveport. 75 degrees was the high temperature in Texarkana, and 72 was the high temperature earlier today in Marshall, as we are looking at conditions which will remain very similar tomorrow. As we look at the weather pattern across the country, you can see the disturbance here moving across Texas. This little ripple right here is responsible for what looks to be a lot of rain, but all of this is basically clouds. That is not a little bit of precipitation not making it to the ground, as we do not have any rain right now in Shreveport. So the coverage you see here as far as the rain is a bit overdone. Here is the upper level low that is going to be the main culprit in producing the rainfall for us this week, and it's going to dive into the desert southwest and then move towards the east. Let's see who else has chimed in. Brian, hello. Eric, greetings. 60 degrees now in his neck of the woods there in Colbert, Oklahoma, near Lake Texoma. You can see we are in the middle 60s here across the Arklatex right now. My weather station, Tempest weather station, in case you're wondering, shows 64 degrees, the current temperature, and doesn't look like any wind happening at this instant. Meantime, here's the weather map. Again, we do have the frontal boundary associated with the current disturbance. It is going to ease southward, so we will see the wind shift a bit tomorrow towards the northeast. And you can see the next system gathering its strength there along the west coast. And Futurecast very bullish on seeing some rain, or some sunshine, I should say, tomorrow afternoon, which fingers crossed that happens. I will tell you that if it does happen, my forecast is going to be too cool. But nonetheless, moving forward, you can see the next disturbance here, area of low pressure in Kansas. That kind of settles there. We'll see another low develop as that upper level disturbance moves towards the east. That low in New Mexico is going to be the one that we will have to watch. And it does look like it's going to track to the north of the Arctic, and the front itself is going to be the main focus of the rainfall, and you can see that will be diving its way southward. And notice the band of heavy rain that extends from Fort Smith down to Dallas, and again I'll show you that here with Futurecast here in a second. So in fact, let's do that right now and show you Futurecast up close. Again, this will take us through Saturday evening, or into Saturday evening. And notice Futurecast is not showing a whole lot as far as rain tonight. I think probably a little bit heavier based on what's on the radar to the west of us right now for the northern half of the area. We start off with clouds tomorrow. We very well could end up with some sunshine. This is 2 runs of Futurecast, which has cleared us out pretty nicely during the afternoon. So it's very possible that could happen. You can see a clear to partly cloudy sky tomorrow night, and then heading through Thursday, we will stay dry with a partly cloudy sky. Interesting, this run of Futurecast does not have really much clouds. The previous run had lots of clouds south of I-20 and a little bit of rain for Thursday over the south, which was an outlier. Notice Thursday night, the clouds rapidly increase as that upper level impulse begins to draw a little bit closer to us. And then on Friday, not really much as far as rain for Friday, as we'll see a mostly cloudy sky. And with that south to south easterly wind, temperatures Friday will be in the mid to upper 70s. And you can see the rain starting to get its act together to our north. Going through Friday night, we'll start to see the rain impact the northwestern quarter of the area. And then moving through Saturday, you can see the areas of scattered showers. Now, a point to make here, of course, the Gemini parade will begin mid-Saturday afternoon. Notice the scattered nature of the rain. It probably will rain at some point during the parade, but it doesn't look, it looks rather scattered at this point. And we could have a few pockets of heavy rain. Notice, this is as far out as Futurecast goes, that the heavier rains are still between Canton and Dallas over in Texas. This is what's going to move in here probably late Saturday evening. So it's possible, if Futurecast is correct, that we may avoid the rough stuff and get the parade done if they still choose to hold it. But right now it does look relatively scattered, again, if you want to focus in on Futurecast. Again, that's the only high-res model that goes out that far. I don't see any other questions thus far, so I'm going to keep rolling, and you can see that here comes that disturbance as we move through the next couple of days, and the rain that it's going to bring. Okay, that'll clear, and then watch this big old ridge that will develop here behind it. So we're going to warm up very quickly next week. Probably, I would assume, given the fact that I think we're going to hit 80s again next week, even though I only have upper 70s right now. The models have been trending a little bit upwards as far as the rain, the temperature, high temperature forecasts for next week. But again, this ridge, that's going to keep us dry next week and warm us up. All right, let's get into the severe weather aspect of things. Again, that risk is looking low. Here are the numbers from the various models as far as instability. And you can see the majority of them are below 500, so very low at this point. There is a chance that we could see enough instability to produce a few strong storms Saturday. A lot will depend on timing. If Futurecast is correct, we probably won't have much to worry about, since obviously the storms will arrive after sunset. It'll start to getting cooler. But if it happens in the afternoon, we might see an isolated severe storm or two. But again, that risk is looking very low. SPC is not seeing much at this point, and given these numbers, that's probably pretty accurate. And given that being said, again, Futurecast does provide information on rotation potential, and you can see again with the storms over towards Dallas, it is picking up on something. I doubt that will be an issue for us. Peak wind gusts, you can see a few gusts here upwards of 40 plus miles per hour. Off to the west. That's that line that I indicated with Futurecast. Ahead of that, we will not have any issues. Given the Futurecast timing, if that verifies, we will not have any issues with wind during the day on Saturday. It'll be Saturday night, and you can see as far as hail potential, not much. What we look for in this product is black and grays, and that is not in the cards based on what Futurecast is showing. So that kind of gives you some added proof, or evidence, I should say, not proof, but evidence that the risk of severe weather for Saturday is looking very low. The main concern is going to be the rain, and this is the latest outlook from the Weather Prediction Center, and it shows amounts of 2 to 2.5 inches, maybe even 3 inches over the northern quarter of the area, near I-30 and points north, a good 1.5 to 2 inches in East Texas and Northwest Louisiana. Look at the model blend. It's a bit more aggressive with the afternoon run. It shows 2 inches all the way down past I-20 and 3 inches over the northern edge of the area, with amounts 1 3/4 to 2 inches over the southern third of the area. And there is pretty good model agreement. What we've seen here with this system, models have been relatively consistent from model to model and relatively consistent from run to run. So these numbers really haven't changed that much, right around 2 inches plus north, 1.5 to 2 inches south. And again, that's very similar to what the models were indicating yesterday. Now, of course, today is only Tuesday, but this consistency is promising that what we're seeing now is probably going to verify. And just take you out a couple weeks, this is the GFS. Are we going to see 8 inches of rain in Texarkana in the next 2 weeks? Probably not. But again, that tells you that late in the period here, we're talking 2 weeks from now, we could be looking at some rain as we move late in that 2 week period, if the GFS is correct. Again, it tends to change a lot, hence grain of salt time, when you go way out. But nonetheless, it's something to put on the radar as a possibility. So, snowfall. Are we done with snow? I think we are done with snow. You can see next 10 days, nothing from the model blend. Various models also showing 0, and the GFS not really. It had a little bit up in northern Arkansas in the 2 week period yesterday. This is 2 weeks, nothing. So it looks like we're pretty much done with the snowfall, and probably getting there as far as the cold too. Last week, I think I mentioned this last night, that someone asked if I thought we were done with freezes, and I think in Shreveport, chances are better that we are than we're not. Especially given the fact that the days are getting longer faster, and that means it's starting to get warmer faster. The normal highs and normal lows, we start to see those numbers uptick a bit quicker now that we're farther away from the winter solstice and closer to the spring equinox, first day of spring. So again, I do think that the chance for wintry weather is done, but the chance of seeing a freeze, we're not out of the woods yet. Again, the average date is middle of March, I believe, and the latest early April. And you know, anything's within the realm of possibility. And again, grain of salt night will be Thursday this week. I'm going to try to do it on Thursdays now, given that Tuesday's kid day, and I have a lot on the plate on Tuesday. So nonetheless, Gail, 66 now in South Marshall. Thanks for that report there, Gail. Billy in Taylor, Arkansas, hello to you. And Gail says, AC weather. We are getting there, Gail, especially with these warm nights. The old house doesn't cool off as much when it's 65 outside instead of 50. All right, so yeah, that AC, if you have it turned on and set, it does have a better chance of coming on, and that'll be the case here for the next 2 weeks as we look at the European ensembles. You can see the Temperatures across the Arctic this week staying in the 70s. European ensembles keeping us in the 70s even for Sunday, which I see as a possibility. I think I have 68 right now. I have 68 right now for Sunday, just based on all the other model information. A lot will depend on how quickly the sun emerges Sunday. But you can see the warm up leading up to Friday. The rain Saturday will keep temperatures down and the clouds. And notice the warm up next week back up close to 80. And then, as was the case last night, towards the end of the 2-week period, we are looking at a bit of a decline in the temperatures, but still, the red line is normal. We're still going to be 10 degrees above normal, as the normal high is now 61 and the normal low 40. So even the lows at night in the 50s most nights, even one night next Tuesday night in the 60s. So yeah, it's temperatures, we're starting to see more 70s more often now, and you can see the GFS ensembles showing 80 for Friday. And notice that the trend agreements here, the peak next week, Wednesday, a little bit of a tail off in the highs, back to the low to middle 70s towards the end of the 2-week period. Again, this almost takes us through the rest of February. And lows, most nights in the 50s, couple nights in the 40s, especially late next week, with a couple nights. Saturday morning, we very well could be in the upper 50s to low 60s. So, again, this only proves, and again, I think I mentioned this last night, that the EPS ensembles that go out 45 days come out twice a week. And the first one, it was last night, and longer range, it showed us well above normal, obviously, for this week and next week. But as we get into March, it shows us getting closer to normal. And through the whole period, rainfall potential looking in the next 6 weeks an inch or two below normal, which is okay. We would like to see it at normal or even above to get rid of the drought conditions. But nonetheless, a thing too about those ensembles, the longer you go out, they tend to want to run back home to normal. And that is what is happening, at least happened with the latest run. So that being said, we usually don't see, big changes or anomalies. In other words, variations from normal, weeks 4, 5, and 6 compared to weeks 1 and 2. So just keep that in mind when I show you those ensembles here. In fact, the last 2 times I've shown that has definitely been the case. The last 2-3 weeks we've been right at normal. So no other questions or comments. So let me move on to the actual forecast here for tonight. And you can see that tonight we will see a mostly cloudy sky. Again, some scattered showers, which are already falling over the northern sections of the area. Temperatures will range from the 40s extreme north to 55 in Texarkana, 59 degrees tonight in Shreveport, a few 60s down in Coshada and Natchitoches. Notice the rainfall chance is highest over the northern third of the area tonight. Tomorrow, I think we stay dry for the most part, as the rain that we see tonight should be maybe a lingering shower south and east, but not much. As we'll see highs tomorrow with maybe some afternoon sunshine, warming into the low to middle 70s. Notice I say mostly cloudy. If Futurecast is correct, this 73 will be 76, 77. Just saying. It really, especially if the sun comes out before noon. If that's the case, it's going to be mid to upper 70s tomorrow. But we will see a north wind right around 8 miles per hour. And your 10-day forecast shows that temperatures across the area will be warming up Friday, close to 80. Rain Saturday. Looks to be some scattered showers with temperatures in the low 60s in the morning. A little bit cooler, but dry for the Highland Parade on Sunday. Probably upper 60s around 70. And you can see the warm-up during the middle part of next week with highs climbing back up into the upper 80s. Overnight lows, for the most part, will settle into the mid to upper 50s across the area. So above normal here for the next couple of weeks is pretty much the story weather-wise. And again, in case you missed it, again, the rain Saturday, based on Futurecast, looks somewhat scattered in the afternoon. A line will come through at some point. Futurecast indicating probably sometime Saturday evening, Saturday night. and then we should be pretty much done. And a good couple of inches of rain possible here over the northern sections of the area. So let me scan the comments here one more time before I let you go, and I don't see anything else. So that being said, I guess I'll wrap things up for tonight. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And again, I'll be back tomorrow night with another live update on what to expect here. Otherwise, of course, the very latest on Saturday. Futurecast will take us into Sunday tomorrow, so we should get a good look at this entire event. And I'll have the latest on rainfall potential and whether or not we'll see anything as far as any cold anytime soon. Right now, the answer is no. So, Betty wants a joke. Well, I have some time. Let's see if I can pull one up here. I have like a plethora of these things. Let's see. Okay, Betty, here you go. If a king sleeps on a king bed and the queen sleeps on the queen bed, what does the prince sleep on? An air mattress. And that will officially do it for me tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in as always. And again, I'll be back tomorrow night with another live update. So if you need some rain, keep your fingers crossed on getting some tonight. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until Saturday. Have a great Wednesday. Good night.